Everybody, this is the smoking section, and I'm here with the majestic, the magnificent, the powerful, the wonderful, my friend, Erik Ortiz, aka the normal dude. My brother, how are you doing this evening?
I am fucking good, man. I when I was logging in, you sent me the link, right? I was like, what do I put? It's just founder of. I'm not founder of. I mean ENJ, but I'm like, I'm not a founder of anything. I'm just gonna put normal dude, so I'm good. Oh, by
Yeah,
the way, actually, do you want me to call you Putch or Corpse? Which would you prefer? I know you by Putch, so that's what I know.
bro, and that's perfectly fine. And little fun fact is that for about 10 years now,
Yeah.
I have not introduced myself by that name.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like it's became very dear to me.
Yeah.
And it's like those who know that name, if I hear that name out in public, it's like I know to like look for like a
Yeah.
friend, not a work colleague, not somebody I just knew from the bar or from the gym. Like one
Yeah.
of my
Yeah.
homies is calling out to me and I need to find them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a different level. That's a different level of name nowadays, bro. So yeah, of course.
Gotcha.
Of course. You knew me before the whole corpse name took off. So I definitely it makes me feel dear.
Ah, dope. Cool. Then I'll keep that in. I just want to make sure that I call you what you want to be called because we have a lot of friends actually. I don't that not change their name, but they're going by a different name now. So like, okay, so it's a little hard for me to make that switch sometimes because like, oh, can you call me this name? I was like, oh, yeah, of course. But then it comes time sometimes it just slips out.
Yeah, especially like, you know, so even so people can know, bro, met you in the summer leading into junior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's I don't want to name, age drop us, but it's been some time. It has been some
Yeah.
time. And so yeah, that gets a little tricky. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with like in the dance scene, people start going by certain names and they're hero or they're a beast or they're this, but I know them by their first name. But then I
Mm-hmm.
hear their dance name so much, it's like I
Yeah.
almost forget to call them their name. Like, bro, I know you're a governmental dog. Like, why am I still
Yeah.
calling you this name? But brother, again, I know I got to say it in the green room a little bit beforehand, but thank you for being on.
Oh, it's my
Uh,
pleasure, man. Thank you.
yeah, dude, it's a pleasure to be able to sit down and have a chance to kind of catch up and also explore a little bit because you got some stuff going on that I definitely want to touch on. But um, but first, so that everybody who is watching will watch, let them know kind of who you are, where you come from, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
All right. I'll try not to get too philosophical about it because I'm a lot of things. um, I'm much more humble now. Back in the day, I used to be, let's see, I used to be a martial arts instructor. So I was a third degree black belt, got to teach martial arts a lot. I was in the dance team with All Male and Channel Islands back in the olden years. That was a
Mm-hmm.
big part of my identity, still kind of is. Underdog story that just feels pretty much motivates me. So dancer, martial artist. I'm a father now. See all these little toys right over
Yes.
here. Husband, friend. I'm everything and everything in between, man. But
Yeah.
like the little tag says, like right there, I'm just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Recently, not recently, now going on 2 3 years, explored the whole like posting online type of thing. So I have me and Justine are doing this little thing, but with the kids, man, it's so hard to be consistent with anything.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What exactly was that? Because I seen the profile and I seen you start posting. What was your guys's like initial conversation to start up the separate profile together? Like, what was the goal? What was the aim?
Let's see. So just going back 3 years ago, first I had what was it like 4 or 5 months off that I wasn't doing anything, and I'm the type of person that I need to be doing something. This was during paternity and everything, and I was like, well, I need to do something. So me and her started like doing little like videos with the baby, but then I'm like, this feels weird putting the baby on. I mean, I wouldn't show his face, of course, but I was like, this feels weird putting it But I still want to tell stories. So that's pretty much what it was. It was just telling stories, just day-to-day stuff. Because that's never something that I've liked as a kid, is just talking, doing some stories, seeing how I can connect with people. So that's kind of how that came about. And they're like, nah, let's stay away from the whole baby stuff. And that was actually a good call, because a few weeks later, I started seeing a lot of people being like anti like family channels, because all this drama started coming up, and I was like, okay, dodged a bullet there. But now we're doing what we call it E&J Adventures. It's anime versions of me and her. You can't see it because they're on this side, but I have a bunch of anime posters. I'm like one of the biggest weebs otaku that you would know. So if your audience is all about that, fortunately or unfortunately, that's me too. There you go. That's another one of my identities. I'm a big old nerd. But yeah, so we wanted to do some stories, but not necessarily show our faces and everything. So we just started going on with that with some PNG tubers, started doing some VTubing stuff. VTubing stuff is crazy, man. Like it's a whole little ecosystem of its own. I got caught down the rabbit hole at one point, and I'm just like, this is too much.
What is VTubing? I'm not familiar with that term.
So VTubing stands for virtual YouTubing. So that's where the VTubing comes in. It started a long time ago. I don't know the exact history behind it, but back in the day, the first time I saw anything like it was called Kizuna Eye. It was like this, I'm assuming they use motion tracking. I don't know, but this whole animated person would move around. She was from Japan. She was just moving, active, doing pretty much just anything that we would be doing right now, but just with the virtual model. And I thought that was really cool because it was a form that you could tell the story or a background or pretend to be a character, almost like acting. You can puppeteer something and just like go on. I thought that was really cool. So then I kind of went down that route, drafted up my own VTuber. It sucked. At first I tried drawing it. It was really hard. Then I did Photoshop. And after Photoshop, I was like, let me hire somebody. So I hired someone to do it for me, and it came out pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, that's been a thing I've kind of learned too. It was a ego strike to me for sure, where I wanted to be the one man show, right? One man pony. I make the flyers, I make the graphics, I make the music, I make this. And then it was like, yo, this is just too much. I just want to focus on the doing the thing that I actually like doing, you know? Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. And so you guys have kind of pulled back on it to kind of focus on the family and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're still posting. I have like 20 videos that are in editing process that are pretty much 75% of the way done that I have not posted, but mainly because just seeing that schedules don't match up very often. So by the time, because we dub a lot of things, so we just kind of, the video's ready, we just talk over it. By the time she gets home, by the time I get home, it's like, it's late in the night. Let's put the kids to sleep. You put the kids to sleep, and we're just like, it's already 11. We got to wake up at 5 or 6. You know what? Let's just call it a night. And it just keeps on pushing. So we try and post. It's just, you got to find the time to just sit down and do it. But that's one of the things I was talking to Justine actually, where it's just, we'll post when we post. What I think, I don't know if you fell into this. I don't want to call it a trap, but I'm gonna call it a trap, where it's like, oh, you have to post consistently every single day at this exact hour. That, like, that's a lot of like the advice I was getting, especially online. And at some point, I'm like, you know what, this is starting to feel more like work than like a fun thing I want to do. And don't get me wrong, I know like if you were to make this like your sole thing, it's gonna be work. But I already have a 9 to 5. I don't want another 9 to 5. I want something to have fun with and just like. Oh, there you go. That's another reason why me and Joe ended up doing this. Me and Joe used to dance together all the time. High school, we used to always have something that would bring us together outside of normal life. We would either be dancing, or we were both doing martial arts, or we were both exploring the world. Now that we have the kids, it's kind of hard to find time for that. So I was like, I miss doing stuff like that. So like, hey, I asked her before we even created, like, hey, do you want to sit down and do this with me? Like a fun way to just like connect again. So it started feeling less of connection and more like work. So I'm like, you know what, we'll post when we post. Like, we're not trying to get big or anything. This is for us, so it is what it is.
Yeah, there's I would actually almost call that definitely a trap. there's a I've always heard it called like hustle culture, right? But there's a certain like culture behind the social media presence, social media platforms that like, yeah, on Instagram you got to post at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, and on this platform you got to post at this time, and you start kind of scrambling and waiting for that hour to drop. And even for me with the podcast, right? I record when I record. I might throw a post out there like, hey, just looking for some guests.
Yeah.
And even then, like with this podcast, like threw a post out there, we linked up, and there's other people who have flaked on the pod. There's people who've, they can't record for another 2-3 weeks. There's, there was one dude I just had on the podcast recently. It took us over a month to get it together. And that's, before I'd have been like, oh no. But now it's kind of like, no, just it happens. It's going to happen. I'm going to just keep my foot on it a little bit. But the work part, I want it to remain the doing, like podcasting. Like, how do I become a better host? What kind of questions am I asking? How much attention am I locked in when I'm talking to them, or do I kind of drift off a little bit? Because I've had those, right? I've had like rough podcasts. Maybe smoked a little too much during the show and I should have put it out. Or drank one too many drinks while we're all sitting here. And I feel that like it becomes this entrapment where it was supposed to be liberating, right? This was supposed to make me feel free and I'm creating, or it's this thing I love doing on my free time, or like in your case, and I've definitely felt this is, doing something with your partner is important. It's important that even God, and I hope this is a lesson for everybody who listens, it's important to stay engaged with your partner, man. Like, still like them, bro. Like doing stuff with them, like them, like them, bro. Like, me and Sydney, we have it's a horrible habit, but we have the habit of watching our 5 favorite comfort shows, Game of Thrones, Sons of Anarchy, Vampire Diaries, and we watch them over and over and over again. But that's what we do together. Exactly. We get the kids in bed, and then that's what we do. My creating stuff, she's not into the content creation and podcasting stuff. She supports it, not into it. So I think that when I saw that you guys had that pod, or not the pod, but that profile together, like that's really cool, man. Like that's something that they can do together as a unit. And even hearing you right now, like hearing you guys be able to talk it out of like, we're doing one thing, but let's shift away from that because I don't like how that feels. And then it's like, well, now it's becoming too micromanaging. Now we're going to shift this way. And you guys are just kind of ebbing and flowing with it, which is because people who don't know, his wife, phenomenal creative, like phenomenal dancer, and the discipline. So it's like definitely not a discipline issue with you guys. Right. It's almost like your guys have like too much discipline. So it's like, if I'm not doing it, oh no, like,
Exactly. It's like one of those things where, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel this way, or a lot of people do this. We get stuck in, it's got to be perfect, man. It's got to be perfect. It's got to have this idea, and it's have to look exactly like this idea. And if it doesn't look like this idea, I'm like, why even bother doing it? That was me a lot of the times with anything I did, to a fault. Because not recently, now it's 2 years. Dang, it's been 2 years since I played pool too. So
I've seen that.
I picked up pool as a hobby like I want to say 3 years now. 3 years ago. And the thing about me is if I pick something up, I'm gonna see it through as far as I can take it. So once I got picked up for it's a beginners league APA. Once I got picked up for that, we were doing it religiously every freaking Sunday. And then after a while, we got into I just had to practice. It was eating up my time. Practice. We went to Worlds for Vegas. Like our team qualified for that. Like I tell you, like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna take it to the nth degree. again, I didn't understand how big of a deal it was, but my team captain, my coach, he was like, "I don't think you understand like how big of a deal this Erik. This is Erik. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is my like, I'm gonna fluff the number. I want to say it's higher, but 7th or 8th time coaching a team. This is my first time going to Vegas. Like, I haven't gone to Vegas in like decades, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's a little older. He's in his 50s, 60s, grandkids and everything. But to me, I'm just like, well, this is normal to me. Everything I do, like I somehow made it all male. We made it all the way up to freaking nationals, martial arts, multiple championships. Same thing with pool. But taking it back to the topic, I do get stuck there where I just need to take it to the nth degree. And Justine's my rock. She always keeps me like humble, like, hey, slow down. I know it's important, but it's not a discipline issue. We have other priorities. We have the kids, we have the house, we have our finances, we have our health. All these are the things that we want to, that are more important than the social media that we want to do. So even though it's important to us, it's just not the most important at the moment.
Yeah, dude. And even kind of thinking it's so crazy, bro. When I look back, like when I really, really look back, I've had the pleasure, absolute honor and pleasure dancing with like you, Moses, Lloyd, Ralph, Nico, Ro, and everybody in between. Then even for myself, like after it was BYA, and then after that it was AOV, and then after that it was Faction, and then after that it was like now I'm crumping and I'm doing this stuff, and it was like, yo, it all started back then in those days where excellence was expected of us.
Yeah.
Excellence, perfection, and like there was repercussions to the mistakes, you know? Matter of fact, me and Hector Ligze, bro, we've kept in touch over the years and still have the pleasure of calling him a good friend. Mm-hmm. Where it's like culture has moved away. I think we swing kind of hard in culture as far as like creatives of the acceptance of mediocrity, where, you know, at one point, like I'm saying, like the expectation for 16-year-old dancers not to fucking blow a practice because we're going to homecoming or blow a practice because we got family over. You know, we get punished. It's like, that's kind of a little psychotic.
A little psychotic, a lot psychotic. Yeah, a lot psychotic, man.
A little, you know, that's kind of crazy, but it worked, you know. And it's kind of like that happy medium. And hearing you talk, it's like that is the happy medium that I hope more people can find. It's like, it's okay to understand your priorities. It's okay to say, I want to do this thing. These things are taking priority. I'm not going to be able to give it the time I want, but still have that killer instinct to, but when I approach it, I'm about to go balls to the wall. Like I'm giving it everything I got. I'm dialed in. Yeah. And it's really cool to hear that you guys kind of have that in your own personal life with all these other things that you got going on.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I mean, it's at this point, it's not even it's nice to do. It's a necessity. If we want to stay sane, we just got to always be on the same page, keep our priorities straight, because otherwise we just, like you mentioned it earlier, like it's important to like your partner. It's important to grow with your partner. A lot of the times, if you're not on the same page, you're not growing. You're going, one's going that way, one's going the other way. And it's so sad to see sometimes, man. Like when we got married in Cabo, well, dude, it was beautiful, man. Sorry, I'm gonna show off a little bit. So we were sitting down I left it to the very last minute, but we were sitting, I was sitting in the beach. I looked up and it was just beautiful, Los Cabos, ocean and everything, beach. And I was like, wow, take out my little thing. And I just started writing my vows. It was a great sight. But one of the things that I told Justine that I was going to put this in my vows is, one of the things that I vow is I'm going to love every version of you, no matter which version I have, because I've known her half my life now. We're 33. We met when we were in high school, freshman year. So literally more than half my life I've known her. And every 5-6 years, it's a new version of her. In my opinion, it's a better version every time, but it's a new version of her. And I have to learn how to love her differently, because the way I love her now is completely different than I loved her 5 years ago, completely different than I loved her 10 years ago. It's just important to learn and be okay with loving a new person and allowing yourself to love a new person every single time. Because, like, bro, we changed so much. Sure, we're still like the same people, like deep inside that inner child, but life gets rough, man.
Yes. Yes, it does, brother. Matter of fact, I wanna put the time dial on this and
Yeah,
go back. And when I first met you guys, and dude, I tell a lot of people this story. They never believe me, but it's true. I'm driving a big green van. I'm cruising around and I find this group of boys who are doing these weird, like jumping jack looking things, like toe touch things. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this over here? I go over there, and the next thing I'm kind of watching, and then they're dancing. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, in a pin in that, I met you there, and you were the dude who did martial arts.
yes, sir.
How did you get involved in martial arts, and what was that? Because you were great. Like, the flips, the kicks, the this, the like. I
Yeah,
don't know all the technical terms, right? But like, as dancers, we can watch somebody who does ballet and we know like that's amazing. Like
yeah,
what they're doing is great. When I would see you do some of the stuff or even go to the dojo that you guys had right there
yeah.
and see the way that you just like kind of commanded the floor in the room, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And then getting to see your videos of competitions, like this is awesome. How did you get started in that?
Yeah.
And what's some of the story behind that? Because I don't think I've really truly ever asked you that question.
I don't really actually tell a lot of people the whole martial arts story. Uh there's two people that I owe a huge thanks to. One is Eduardo Arellano, homie since I knew this food since I was in elementary school. So we're 33 now, so probably like 25, 27 years of friendship right there. And the other person I had to thank is Master Romeo Gregory. By the way, he's still there, but dude, like he Eduardo introduced me to martial arts. He was doing it. This was back in, I want to say, junior high. But Master Gregory, holy shit. Like, it's going to sound like a hyperbole. I owe him my life. I literally do. So, the reason why I joined martial arts, a lot of, it was kind of like my last hope. During elementary school, I'm not going to say I was bullied because I was the bully.
Mhm.
It was more of I was a very hyperactive, very seeking for attention type of kid. Um, I would do pretty much anything and everything for attention, something that I wouldn't get at home. I have a big family. I have five sisters. But by the time the age gap is so huge, bro. By the time that I was in elementary school, everybody but like one sister was gone. So
Mhm.
I had a huge family, and then everyone disappeared. Like between me and my youngest sister, I think it's almost 10 years gap, and then between me and my eldest sister, it's like a 30-year gap. So like they're old enough to be my mom. And a lot of
Mhm.
times they used to be confused to be my mom. Anyways, I digress. Pretty much what ended up happening is I was getting in so many fights. It was hard for me to keep friends. Got threatened with expulsion. I was like, well, I need to do something. So my friend was like, hey, Eduardo was like, do you want to come do martial arts with me? I was like, fuck it, I'm down. I go 2 week free trial. It's pretty fun. It was fun hitting shit. It was fun like running around. Like it was a great outlet. Like before this, the only other outlet I had was soccer, but even then I kind of like never really got into that. And it wasn't until martial arts that I found like, oh, this is a great outlet to get rid of all. I was an angry dude, bro. Angry dude. I have an outlet to get rid of all this anger. And once the 2 week trial was over, it was time to fork up some cash. So I was like, ah, shit, all right. So I brought my mom and dad over. My mom and dad are immigrants. They started working the fields. Was once I was in elementary school, they got out of the fields. They were doing normal jobs. My mom in microsemi, my dad in coffee bean. So they were making a decent living, but cash was short. Like for us, a good time out was like if we did really good something, we're going to McDonald's, or we're going Buddy Burger down on what is that, Auction Boulevard. But anyways,
Yep.
burgers are you guys did a great job. Like it's not like
Mm-hmm.
an everyday thing. It was like once a month, maybe once every 2 months. That was our financial status. So when Master Gregory told him the price at the time, I think it was, I want to say 100 and something a month. My parents looked at me like, I'm sorry, mijito, like you can't do this. And that crushed me because like, oh, like this is like the one thing that I felt like I could succeed and excel. Like this is the first time people like motivated me to do that. Academics, every teacher I've had, except for one, would always pull me down. Like I used to be with not with Lloyd, yeah, with Lloyd and them. We used to be in the honors program.
Mm-hmm.
They would put me in there and always get kicked out. I was too rowdy, too everything. The comment I would get was, he's smart, he just doesn't do work. So they okay. So everything I tried doing, people always put me down. This is the first time that anyone ever told me, hey, you can do this. So I really, really wanted to do this. And this is where I mean that Master Gregory kind of saved my life. He said, you know what? I can tell he really wants to do this. I'm not going to charge him. Your son can train here for free, but here's what I expect. He's going to help me teach classes. He's going to stay after every class, clean the entire dojo. He's going to mop. He's going to clean, do the cubbies, everything. He's pretty much going to work, but that's going to be for his tuition. It's I do this, I'll get that. And at the time, I was ecstatic because what was that one movie with Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid?
Yep.
I was, so he giving me special training. All right, I got to mop the floors, inside, outside. 10 years later, I remember telling him this exact same story. He's like, oh, no, bro, I just wanted you clean. I didn't care about that. He's like, I know it was funny. You're like in a middle stance, horse stance, mopping the floors. Like, why is he doing that? Like, I was using extra training. But yeah, man, I know it's long-winded, but that's kind of how I got into martial arts. Is Eduardo get me into it? Master Greg gave me the opportunity, and from there, it was an explosion. Like I fell in love with it. It was my world every single day. I woke up, martial arts. I went to sleep, martial arts. I would go to sleep fucking stretching. I would put my legs up onto the wall on my bed, let it fall over because I'm not flexible at all, man. And I would fall asleep, and I would wake up. One time I woke up. I never did this again because it sucked. I was in the splits. I'm like, holy shit, I've never been in the splits. But I couldn't move. So I had to call my parents so they can like move my feet over. But yeah, I was living, breathing that shit, man. Like it gave me so much confidence. It allowed me to like really open up, get out of my shell. It made me feel like I was worthy of living, worthy of being accepted. I gave up fighting, not because it wasn't fun, or not because I didn't like it, but it just wasn't fun anymore. Like fighting someone on the street that doesn't know how to fight is actually pretty fucking boring. Like I remember the day that I stopped fighting on the street. I think I was a yellow belt. These fools like, let's go fight in the park. And I was like, fine, here we go again. And he starts going, and I'm like, I don't want to hit you. So I kind of just start weaving, dodging, yada yada. One time he got really close. I'm like, fuck it. So we call it an out of form block. So I just come out, pop my forearm here, hit some, and he goes, and everyone around us, there's a circle like, come on, hit him harder. It makes me giggle every single time. He goes like, I can't. This fool is out of block. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of fighter doesn't know how to block?
Oh, yeah. Man.
But ever since then, I just stopped fighting outside because it's not fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think too many kids learn how to block with their face instead of like their hands and their legs and stuff, and it never works out too well for them. And so you got introduced, through your friend. You had this amazing teacher who picked you up and showed you that opportunity, right? That they exist for young men like you.
Yeah.
Then you go from there, and where does it stop, and then the transition into dancing begin?
So Master Gregory showed me this video. If you're not supposed to look him up, I highly recommend. This fool's amazing. His name is Steve Tirada. He's coming out of retirement now, actually. I've been seeing him post a lot more now. But he was in a dance team called Quest Crew. Yeah. So Steve Tirada, he was very much a martial arts dude, great competitor. And I saw this fool on America's Best Dance Crew, and I was like, This fool just did a flash kick. This fool just did a 540 hook kick. Like he's tricking. Tricking is martial arts, but with like combined with gymnastics, acrobatics, like Shaolin Kung Fu, like all different sorts of disciplines combined into one. I think people are trying to stop calling it tricking because it came up with the negative connotation, but I call it tricking. And I thought that was fucking great. I was like, he's performing and people are loving it. And again, at the time when I was a kid, that's all I ever wanted, just like acceptance, like people cheering me on. That's not something I ever got. So I was like, I want to do that. And so I started doing, first I started with martial arts. I started doing what's called creative martial arts, or XMA, extreme martial arts, where you put together a routine with music and you just sync it up, do some cool stuff. And I thought that was awesome. And I was like, all right, I think it got to the point where it was very limited, because in martial arts, there's only so many variations of a punch. There's only so many variations of a kick, that unless you're adding more height, more turns, more flips, like the ceiling's been broken many times, but in a way it feels like there's a ceiling. And I kind of wanted to explore more. And this is probably the hardest choice I ever had to make, was I want to join All Mill. And at first it wasn't a hard choice because I didn't make it. Again, story of my life, people would tell me, hey, you're not good enough, you can't do this. I had it's hard to call them group of friends now, but I had a group of friends back then that would be, you can't join All Mill. I was like, why can't I join All Mill? This was like freshman, sophomore year. And they're like, one, you're not Asian. And everyone back there was Filipino. So, like, they were like, one, you're not Asian, so you can't join. Two, you're not hot enough. Because they're like, oh yeah, all the guys on All Mill are hot. And like, okay. And then three, you can't dance. The third one made sense. I couldn't dance. I had no experience dancing. Like, all I could do was martial arts. But I said, I don't care. I'm very much this person now, but if I want to do something, if I want something, I'm gonna do it. I don't care if I'm good or bad. I'm just gonna fucking do it. So I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna try out. Didn't make it. Tried out during summer. Didn't make it. Funny story, going back to Justine. One of the reasons she wasn't the reason why I tried out. But one of the reasons I tried out so fast was because I heard she was trying out. I was like, oh, I want to try it out if she's gonna be there. An excuse to be around her. She did not want to be around me back then. So I said, all right, let's try out. And then finally on my third try, I made it. This was junior year. I was like, oh shit, cool. I'm part of the dance team. And practices were long, like really long. They went up like late in the night. So during summer, I tried really hard to do both. I would, just because summer practice was in the morning. So we would get there at freaking 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and we practiced until like 3 or 4. My class was until 6 or 7. So pretty much every single day in summer, it was wake up, dance, 8+ hours, eat something, martial arts, 4 hours, get home around 11, do my chores, do my summer homework, go back to sleep, rinse and repeat. It got too heavy. I really wanted to do both things, but I just could not. And I remember crying in front of my instructor because I was like, I don't want to go. But martial arts will always be here for me. Like, I can always come back to martial arts. This is just a high school thing. So it was heartbreaking. I'm glad Master Gregory let me go, but I gave up martial arts to do dancing. And one is because the brotherhood that I made with All Mill, it's what I've wanted since I was a little kid. Like, I had my big family left. I was all alone. Now I had my brothers. So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. So again, one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make in my life. I know it sounds weird because this is decades ago, but like, choosing dance over martial arts was a lot, man. A lot.
Yeah, I remember there was well, let's rewind. Yes, you had to be very Filipino back then to even be considered on those teams, quite frankly. And so like I remember when I joined, it was like kind of culture shocky for me a little bit because I had never heard Tagalog. I didn't even know that was a real word. And so it was like being very exposed to that culture. And so one thing about the Pacific Islander and Asian culture is they are very disciplined in the things in which the kids choose to pursue. Um, so when you do that thing, that's the thing you do all day, every day. Um, and then when you have a captain like Lloyd, that is what you're going to do all day, every day. And
Yeah.
it was tough, even for me. Like I didn't have nothing else going on, and I loved dancing. Like that was the thing I really wanted to do, and
Yeah.
it was like, whoa, this is a lot of practicing. Holy shit! Like, can we go to the beach? Um, I
What?
do remember there
Go
was
to
like
the beach and just run?
yeah, what in practice? Like, like, oh, we're going to practice at the beach. Like, okay, no, I'm trying to like get in the water. Um, I remember there was a funk circle one time, man, and you brought that up. It was like you had brought up this, you were having these conversations with people about leaving martial arts, and you were like, "Yo, I'm leaving this to do this," and I was like, "Yo, like," and even like I was saying right now, like in my head, it was like, "Well, this is all I want to do. Like, I just want to dance. Like, I don't even want to do this funk circle because I can like resolve my own shit on the dance floor." But
Yeah.
hearing you was like, yo, this is like big for some people. Like for people who are here, this is like a major decision for them. Um, and in All Mel, you were definitely the person who I would say like we could look at to do flips, any kind of tricking, right? Because that is
Yeah. Yes,
that
sir.
is a real term, people.
Yeah.
Um, like tricking was like, oh, let's ask Eric. Have Eric show you. Have
Yeah.
Eric show you how to do this. Have him show you how to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and so let me go back a little bit too. What would you say would been your favorite moment from your martial artist days, and then a favorite moment from Omel?
Shoot, I have lots. Timeline doesn't matter, just favorite moment.
Favorite moment.
All right. So for martial arts, this is post high school. This is college years. I want to say 2014, 2015. It was giving the auction art community the opportunity and helping them go on TV, be on ESPN. So Master Gregory gave me, again, owe him a lot. He gave me the opportunity to be the coach. So I got a lot out of all mail. So again, I learned a lot how to be part of a giant group. That's something I never knew how to do. Everything for me was always solo. And at the time when I came back in the martial arts circle, there was these things that were just popping up. They're called demo teams. So what a demo team was, originally it was just go out and you showcase your martial arts skills. Um, but if you've ever seen a demo, if anyone in your audience ever seen a demo of a martial arts at a festival, at a cultural fair or whatever, you'll know that sometimes they can be a little boring because all they do is kind of stand there, stand straight, eye block, punch, your basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But with Steve Cherrod and all these other cool trickers that were coming up, they were still doing our basics because our basics are our foundation. But I started doing a lot of tricking as well, a lot of synchronized tricking, a lot of synchronized music. So that was popping off. And we had a lot of kids that were very into that. Like, hey, I want to do all these flips and tricks. And as a retention tool, we're like, you know what? Let's make a demo team. So I got to be in charge of the demo team. I was putting these guys together, putting routines together, getting a lot of formations, a lot of visual effects from dancing, but applying them to martial arts. And I just kind of put that all together, and somehow or another, we made it out to World Championships in Florida for ESPN. So that, like, to me, was one of the highlights of my martial arts career, was hearing all these comments from other martial artists that I respect that would be like, hey, again, I was a junior back then, so like no one really knew my name. So everyone would be like, hey, Mr. Gregory, like, who helped you do your demo team or everything? It looks really, really good. And I was like, oh, Mr. Ortiz. And I was like, oh, Mr. Ortiz, yeah. And I was like, it felt good seeing that my work was being like acknowledged. But it felt even better seeing my kids like having the time of their life just performing and just doing what they love to do. Like I can't imagine like how much fun they were having. I heard what they told me. They said, "Oh, Mr. Ortiz, this was great. Like this was amazing." But it's one thing hearing, it's another thing seeing it. And I think
Yeah.
it was freaking great, man. I mean, in hindsight, now that I'm older, wiser, hindsight looking back, like, man, I should have done better. Always critiquing myself. Should have done better. Should have done this. Should have had this formation. It's on YouTube and everything in ESPN, but I'm just like, still looks good. Could be better, but still looks good. That was my highlight for martial arts. As far as for all male, very first year was my highlight. That I want to say for a lot of us, it was one of those moments where it helped us build that story within us. And it's important to what story you tell yourself. And I think this is one of those milestones or one of those core memories, as the kids say, that really like shaped my identity. Because our first year, no one expected anything from us. Alumni wouldn't show up. Alumni would show up and just grill us. And we're trying to fill in big shoes. The year before is Jimmy's year. Holy shit. I can't believe that they didn't win national championships. They had powerhouses. They had such good dancers. And then we went from so many good dancers with lots of experience, pedigree, and everything. And all of a sudden, a brand new team. Half of us didn't know how to dance. Half of us didn't know. A few old members. Like, no one believed in us. Our counterpart, all female, was doing great. They had experienced dancers. They were doing fantastic, nonstop winning. And us over here, people would just be like, yeah, just let them do their thing. The highlight of that year was winning national champions because nobody expected us to win. Like, I still remember, and all of us scoffed at it. A bunch of alumni came over. We knew you were going to win. They're like, no, you fucking fucking know we're gonna win. But yeah, it was one of those underdog tales where I'm just like, if we really want to, we can accomplish anything.
Dude, that first year, and I remember it was, I mean, dude, there was just so many good memories, right? Like, all of us out there just fucking suffering. Like, I got pleasure from that. Like, you know, I look to my left and right and people are crying because we're holding a tea for so long. And it's like, okay, I'm not the only one, you know, and meeting, you know, some of the alumni, they like getting to know them off the floor was very influential, right? Like Carl, getting to know Carl off the floor, getting to know Alan LeGuanton off the floor.
Such a great person.
Right, such dude, and me and Alan still message each other from time to time to this day. And I still say him and Dan are two of the best dancers I've ever met.
For reals, man.
And so people could also kind of understand I had Moses on the podcast a while back, and we spoke to this effect where all male CI dancing for a good chunk of the early 2000s, all the way up to about 2011, 2012, was considered premier, was considered the upper echelon of the Miss Drill Team USA dance circuit. That is the team to look out for. Our counterparts in the city, Emanon, also had that reputation, and so it was like Oxnard dancing still to this day is a deep well of talent. And there was a lot of new members that year. There was a lot of, I don't want to say broken young men, but I think
you can say broken. You can say broken.
Broken young men who were looking for a place, like me, right? Like, I moved from North Carolina, had no idea what the hell was going on. I remember Jonas was like, God, are you going to wear different clothes? It's like, I have like 3 pairs of shorts and 2 shirts in my bag out here for summer vacation. Like, I don't have clothes. Like, I'm washing these clothes every day I go home. Like, you don't, like, shut up. The Prelude turned into Bridge.
Oh, yeah. And I forgot about that. Yeah.
We competed at Bridge, and it was pouring rain outside. And we did that run through in the rain. And I just remember going into the locker room. We're still kind of singing the routine. And I remember, like, I could still vividly see CJ standing up on the bench, and there's Raldwin, Jason, and like there's like you can see all female kind of down the way here. And I remember sitting there thinking, I'll give my life to this. Like
Yeah.
this is what I'm here for. That what we just did right there. What we did on stage was not that good. What we did in the rain, phenomenal.
Dude.
Fucking mwah. But that's why you got to make every time your best time. But
Exactly. Yeah.
that was for me personally,
Yeah.
that was something I always look towards. Even you know, I, you know, I hear kids now, and even when I talk to some guys, right, they have like these very intricate moments or very intimate moments in
Mhm.
their dance, and it's so beautiful. And a lot of times it's always like yourself, right? I hear it's like, man, I was the underdog in this. Like, everybody had us counted out, didn't have the support from anybody, and I rose to the occasion, and boom, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. And boom, like we knocked it out the park. And if anybody wants to look up 2020 or 2010 CI All Male Dance Team Nationals Championship, like insane blue vest with the yellow trim,
Music
insane,
101, man. Music 101. I love that
in
routine.
insane routine. And then let's not knock it, but 2011 did it back to back.
Dude, 2011, honestly, 2011's routine was way better than 2010.
Way
Like
better.
miles apart. Like it was fucking crazy, man. Like 2011 was a time where I started learning about collegiate teams. Like before then, I had no idea what collegiate teams are. Like again, I just did dancing because I thought it was cool and I wanted to do it. So 2011, I started kind of exploring. Like, oh, there's more than just CI, right? Especially after nationals and everything. I thought 2011's routine was at collegiate level. I was like, we can fucking perform this at collegiate teams. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, it was that good. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and so even for people listening, right, who might not know, for high school dance teams, most of them, most kids who dance, there isn't a like pathway into success, right? Like a kid might play basketball, he does really well in basketball, he gets a scholarship offer, and he goes to that school. For dancing, you graduate and there's who knows, right? I mean, obviously there's professional dancers, people who go and tour or they go and
Mhm.
do these music videos. That's very freelancy, right?
Yeah.
Unless you join like some kind of agency. Again, that is something you apply into, you do an audition, you get a call back, you do another audition, and hopefully you're the one out of the 300 other people who get chosen. um
Yeah.
Very different process for us, right? Some of the football players go to VC, or fucking the soccer players go to OC, and
Yeah.
these are 10 20 minutes in one direction and across the street in the other. For us, I mean, I know Pack Modern, love you guys. Pack Modern was a thing, right? Go and do Pack Camp.
Yeah.
Common Ground was a thing. I know a lot of our alumni went there. Kaba, TM, which are several hours drive. Then you get all the way down to like choreo, bro. That bridge competition, Keone Madrid and Mari did the smooth operator piece.
I was dying, bro. I was like, holy shit. I did not know there was that level of dance that was even reachable. I was like, holy shit. I felt like an ant.
Right, like I need to go home and practice. What is
Yeah.
that? What was that? GRV, right? John Ha with the chrome to your dome piece. Like I mean SGBM 220. Like there's so 220. Shout out 220 and Alan LaGuanta, and he put me on
Alan.
so hard. Uh, there's like that leap, even for me, bro, just seemed like a intergalactic wormhole space jump. Like, how do I get from point A to point B? Like, that's just insane. You did BYA, correct?
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
then dude, I can barely remember who was even all on that team. That
We had so
yes,
many people come and go that so quickly. It's hard to remember of it, but yeah, BYA.
I'm gonna be straight. I was drunk the whole time. Like there was the social
You and
six.
you and half this freaking team, bro. Me.
Yeah, because like and two, bro, it kind of gets fuzzy. Like, wait, was that BYA? Was that because I think there was like another team too that was going on that people were joining, and like it just
Was
gets
it
so
faction? No. Was
no faction was like 2015, 16 ish.
because I think the last year of BYA was around like that time, 2015. Because I know I was in BYA up until I moved to North Carolina. So I was, which I think was 2014, 2015. My years are off, man.
Yeah, it's fuzzy. And so after BYA, you said you moved to North Carolina. Did you do any dancing over there?
Nah, I just did MMA. Just did MMA over there.
What was that like?
Brutal. So I went in there. They only taught jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and they did MMA. So I signed up for jiu-jitsu because I always want to learn jiu-jitsu, man. So let's do that. But they also had like an open sparring. I was like, all right, cool, I'll spar. And I got partnered up with this fool. I already forgot his name, man. I was only there for like I only did this for like 2-3 months before I said, you know what, I should probably save my body. But we started sparring, and I know what I'm doing too, right? So I'm like, all right, just playing around with him, throwing some kicks. I hit him with the front kick, stepped him right there in the chin, and he got mad. So like he goes in. I know the second I'm on the floor, I'm done. So he shoots in for a takedown, and I'm just gonna sprawl out, put my body weight on top of you, and just get the fuck out and back up and just throw some more kicks. I think he got pretty upset, so he pinned me to the wall, hooked my knees, pulled me up, dumped me on my head, and just started going to Pound Town and everything. The coach came in here, all right, time. And then he looked at me, was like, you fought before, haven't you? I was like, oh, yeah. I used to do Taekwondo. I was like, oh, okay. Sorry about him. He has a little chip on his shoulder. He has a fight coming up in MMA. Do you want to, we have an open spot. Do you want to have your first MMA fight? And I'm like, why not? That would be cool to say that I've done at least one MMA fight. So I start practicing jiu-jitsu, doing all that, because I know that's my weakest point. But during one of these practices, and it's my fault. I'm cocky, man. Like if I know my strike game is better than yours, I'm just gonna play around with you. Especially if it's just sparring. Like I just want to have fun. I threw a tornado kick, just like flip around, round kick, whatever. He got mad because you don't throw that kind of stuff, right? It's like flashy stuff. So this fool fucking like checks my knee so fucking hard, and then he fucking elbows me in the face. I remember one time I was staying with my sister in North Carolina. I was soaking in Epsom salt, bruised up, everything, and I'm like, oh, my sister comes up and is like, this is what you're paying so much money for to get the beat the fuck up, and I'm just like, yeah, something about right. Yeah. Nah, but before the tournament came, because I was only there for a little under a year before the tournament came, because we had a whole year to practice for that first match. I'm just like, I moved back, so I'm just like, I never got to do it. But yeah, man, that was an experience. That was wild.
The fighting game, wrestling is as far as I ever got. Because even then you're getting slammed on your head, bro, and I like boxing. I always wanted to take some boxing classes. And I've taken some here and there, and it's always gotten right to the point where it's like, hey, you want to do a light sparring? Nope, not doing it. No, thank you. Because I just, nah, man, the getting punched in the face, I'm going to get mad. It's not going to be light anymore. And then, one of these dudes obviously know way more than me. I'm going to get clipped. I'm gonna not be able to see straight for 3 days, and I'm good. I'm cool. I'm gonna stick to the dancing.
I'm a fucking masochist, man. I love getting hit. Like, we don't train like this anymore, but I had his name was Jacob Medina. We would always like practice like our form and stuff together. We took it a little bit too seriously, a little too hard, because like we both love martial arts movies too. So we on our off time when we're not in the dojo, we'd be like, all right, bro, we're not allowed to hit really hard in the studio. We got to train our arms somehow. Let's just fucking check our arms. So we constantly just went check, 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 shins and everything. We were like bleeding and stuff. I was like, but hey, it worked. Like when I would block at tournaments, like I would feel nothing. A vivid memory I have was I was sparring at a tournament. It's point sparring. It's not full contact, but I sometimes hit a little full contact, right? I lost by a point, and I was like, whatever, it's cool. And this is like the first round. There's normally like four to 6 rounds. It's like bracket style. You go up, and I remember a bunch of the people that I would normally fight with come up to me. They would like pat me in the back and say, "Hey, man, don't be mad, but I'm so fucking happy you're out of the fucking match." It's like, what? That's fucked up. Why? It's like, you fucking hit like a mule. We want to feel that shit.
That's right.
And in my head, I'm like, but I'm not even hitting hard.
Man.
Like I can only imagine if I actually let one rip.
Yeah, now there's been some there's definitely like for battles, right? I love that feeling where I get knocked out of a tournament, or we have some little street tournament going on, and then somebody comes out and like, "Hey, are you still in?" Like, "Nah, I lost." It's like, "Oh God, thank God." It's like, "Wait, what? What do you mean, thank God?" Like, "Man, I ain't trying to battle you right now, man."
Hey.
So it's like that bittersweet a little bit, because it's like, "Oh yeah, y'all better watch out, because I'm gonna get you next time, Playboy. You better hope you don't get lined up." So from North Carolina, how do you end up? What's that story from ending up there to back home now? Because you're back in Cali now.
Yeah.
And how does that transition happen?
So I'll talk about the transition to North Carolina first. So it was pretty close to the gun incident that I moved. So martial arts is my life, still is. I practice here and there, just here in the house and everything. When that happened, and talk about ego death, man. When that fucking happened, like so many things were running through my mind when we had that in our face. The first thing I remember, like, whatever, this is happening. Back then, to some extent now, but back then I didn't care about my life. So like, whatever, if I die, I die. Like, whatevs. So when I had that gun in my face, and the guy's asking for my phone and asked me to unlock it, I was playing it stupid, of course. Like, "Oh, unlock your phone." Like, I don't know, man. You have that in my face. I'm a little shaken up. I don't know my passcode right now. So I never ended up giving him my passcode. But all I can think of was like, this would be so easy for me just to reach up, pull in, push it into your throat, kick you off. I remember doing this for a quick second, glancing behind me, and I saw our friends back there shaken up and scared. And I was like, all the doubts went in my head. I was like, what if someone else has one?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not this one that I see right now? Because I remember looking around, like, I only see one right now. I'll be fine. Like, but what if I'm wrong? What if it's not this just one? Or what if I F up and I can't do the full thing? I don't care about me, but what about you? What about the people behind me? I was like, fuck, man. I just froze. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna comply and just hope for the best. But after that, it was like, damn. I lost a lot of confidence in the feeling that I can protect myself or protect other people. And at the time, I was teaching martial arts full time. And I remember thinking, do I deserve to be in charge of all these kids? Like, before then, I felt super comfortable teaching. Like, I've been in fights before. I've been knocked to the floor. Like, I can teach these kids, like, if they're ever in a certain situation, like how to get out of it, how it's going to feel. I can give them experience on it. And after that, I was just like, I don't think I'm the right person to be teaching this. And I just kind of like fell apart, and I was like, man, like, I don't think I deserve to teach. So around this time, and maybe this will be a different story for a different time. I don't know if you remember, but I was mad that my phone got taken. So I reported that shit, right? Mm-hmm. I told you guys, you guys leave. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna wait for the cops. That was my fucking phone. And I had the worst experience with Oxnard PD. Worst fucking experience. And I consider myself a person with very high integrity. At least up to that point, I always felt like, hey, like integrity is everything to me. Like I gotta be straight up, or it's gonna eat me alive. I remember, I think this is what broke the camel's back, man. 2 weeks later, cops show up to my house. Two of them go down, like, hey, we just talked to you about the incident. They're like, sure, sure, sure. And it's like, all right. They open up a binder. I want to say 6 or 8 photos. I don't recall anymore. Like, all right, which one of them was it? Scan them. Like, none of these guys, man. I don't think it was one of them. Like, these guys are too old. Like, they weren't that old. They were around my age, or at least one of them was around my age. Like, no, it's not this. They're like, you sure? They're like, no, yeah, I'm not gonna point at anybody. Like, I without a shadow of a doubt, I can't say that. So no. And they look at me, it's like, young man, please just point at a picture. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna point at a picture. And they're like, we're not leaving your house. They're already inside my house at this point, and my parents are kind of like shaking up, like on the corner. And they're like, we're not leaving until you point at a picture. And I was like, I'm just, and again, I was not a kid, but I was like, what, 20 something. And these two guys were like, I need you to point at somebody. He's like, trust me, these guys are criminals. They've done worse than what they've done to you. I just need you to point at somebody. And I said, I'm not pointing at somebody. And they were just getting, and I got to the point where I just really wanted to fucking leave. I didn't even look at the fucking notebook. I said, him, now get the fuck out of my house. And they grabbed their book. They said, thank you. And they just left. I remember that moment. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I know they're probably right. And I'm pretty sure they did horrible things, but it ate me up that I pointed at a photo. Cause I'm like, I don't know what they did. Like, I don't know their story. Like, and if I would have been 100% sure, like, oh yeah, it's this fucking person, I would have fucking done that.
Yeah.
But like, to me, that was like, fuck, man. I just like, nah. So there was a lot going on that I'm just like, all right, I just gotta leave. Like, I don't know who I am right now. I have that whole ego death, like everything that I thought that I was. We had like at the beginning of the podcast talking about like, who is Erik? Maybe I won't get too philosophical about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was anymore. I thought I was a person with integrity. That felt like it fell through in that moment. I felt like I was a protector. That didn't fall through during the gun incident. All these things just started going over to one. At that point, I didn't really care about my life. I don't know if you heard about it. That same night, down 2 streets, down where now Island Pacific is. That same now, maybe in 30 minutes, an hour apart, someone got shot and killed.
Yep.
I remember the next morning, once this whole incident was happening, my parents come in and they were bawling their eyes out. I was like, what happened? They're like, oh, one of my friends just called me. Their son just died.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Oxnard is a wonderful city. However, it does have a very underlining element to it of criminal activity that
it's much better now, but yeah.
Much better now. Yeah. And Erik is very brave. I do want to say that, brother. Very brave in the way that he stood tall that night. You know, me and him both had to kind of stand in the way of some of our friends getting hurt. And yeah, bro, I think about that. And I definitely want you to finish your story. But I think about that a lot, man. Like, somebody that night got gassed, and there we were in a situation where I was like, I might not go home. Like, this is not the way I expected it. But okay, here it is. Yeah. So from there, so you go through this ego death, and then you say it's time to pack it up. It's time to roll out.
Pretty much, yeah. Because man, thank you for interrupting, by the way, because I was tearing up, man. Like, I had so many emotions that fucking night. Again, I saw my parents like come into the room, and they were just saying, "Oh yeah, whenever a friend's kid just died," and this is after me coming home and telling, "Hey, I got pulled at gunpoint. I'm fine. I'm a little shaken up, but this is what happened." And they hugged me, and this is the first kind of time that they show emotion, right? And they were so scared that they would have lost me. And that's when like 2 and 2 clicked, 1 and 1 clicked, where I was like, oh shit, they do care about me. And then I got to see like, oh shit, if I were to be gone, some people would miss me.
Absolutely, bro.
And that's when I was like, oh shit, maybe I should care about myself a little bit more. So then I was like, and then my sister, like, she threw a lifeline out for me. She was like, oh, well, I'm stationed in North Carolina. She's in the military. Do you want to come down live with me for a while? I said, you know what? I think that will do me some good because I don't know where I'm at right now. And
Mm-hmm.
this was also a fucking hard choice because at this point, I'm with Justine already. She just moved back from Texas. We're barely now just like acting like we were an actual couple because from again, I knew her from freshman year, but we didn't get together till like junior, senior year. Super official not until uh, college, pretty much. But she moved away junior year or senior year, and then she finally came back around the time that everything was kind of settling down. Martial arts were going good. All this, like, it was my goal to be a martial arts instructor, and then this happened. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Like, Justine's finally here. I had my track to being a martial arts instructor. I was going to open up my own school. But I had so many doubts, like, you know what? You're right. I should just leave Oxnard to see what the world has to offer because Oxnard's all I ever knew.
Mm-hmm.
I've never not been with my parents from the trailer days to when we were in that house. So I'm just like, okay. And that helped a lot in the sense that it brought back the sense that I can take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because for those of you who are barely going into that stage of your life where you're going to be on your own, living on your own, or if you're not there yet, just know that it's a scary jump, guys, but do it. Like, if you've never lived on your own, it's liberating. It's scary, but it's liberating because you get to see that I can take care of myself. Like, if shit were to hit the fan and I had nobody, like, luckily I had my sister, so she was there for support. But if things were to happen, like, I can take care of myself. I can find my own rent. I can pay my own rent. I took up a job at Best Buy, minimum wage. But even in North Carolina, like, that was enough to, like, if I wanted to rent a house with my Best Buy income, I could have done that. I was like, oh shit, like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? I was like, this is nice. I was like, holy shit. Um, and honestly, I would have stayed in the East Coast. I did not want to move back. I had friends over there in Best Buy in the martial arts for the MMA, like all these people. They adopted me into a powwow family. So
Hey.
me and my sister were going to a bunch of powwows because they were like, are you guys native? I was like, oh, no, we're Mexican. Like, I'm pretty sure you have some native in you. And it's like, come over here. It's like, okay, fine. So we started doing that twice a month. So it was a lot of fun, man. But then, like, I was really missing Justine, and
Mm-hmm.
Justine really is about, like, she wants to be around. She wants to be in Oxnard. She wants to be in Ventura County. She wants to be in. Well, we're in LA now, but she wants to be here. So it's like, all right, I need to move back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's the person I want to be with. She's my rock. I'll move back, and that's how I kind of got back. Yeah.
I love hearing you call her that, bro. That makes me so happy inside,
Yeah.
like truly, because even knowing you guys from back then, and then even hearing this story right now, it's like life can be so turbulent, and sometimes we get way out there in the weeds, man. Like way out there in the weeds, and sometimes you need that little lighthouse that kind of brings you back, kind of
Yeah.
gets you back on your path, or yeah, like you're lost at sea and you finally hit shore, like you finally hit the shoreline. It's like, oh, thank God, you know. Yeah, no, bro, never underestimate the void that you would leave behind if something would have happened to us that night. um I really do. I think about looking down that barrel and it's like, holy smokes. And I used to wonder, like, who's going to miss me? Like, like who's going to,
Yeah.
like, so many thoughts run through your brain when you kind of look back and start going through it. And I mean, bro, you got a kid, you got a family now.
Yeah.
I got kids. Like, none of this there's a whole life out here that's experiencing it because God had a different plan for me, and I am so unfortunately that I am fortunate enough that God had plans for somebody else that night. And so I try to never take advantage of that. And you know people wonder why my views on certain things may have switched up, or I was all about the click clack, hey, put the thing down, we can boogie. Like, no, 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 dog, I ain't even trying to fight, bro. Like, I don't even want to go there. Like, I don't even want to go there. Like, let's just, if we can't talk it out, we'll walk it out and I'm out of here. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool off of that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't, no parts, bruh. um and yeah, man, definitely to your point too of, I remember when I hit the road with work, and it was work, dark hotel room, work, dark hotel room, work, dark hotel room. And it was like, yo, like, now I have this apartment that I'm paying for, but I'm on the road, and who's going to take care of this? And what about this? And oh no, like, I'm paying these bills for the first time, and I have a kid, and then this, and all the crap. And it's like, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of crazy for like a young person to hear, like, oh, I can't figure it out. It's like, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm still in a series of figuring it out, but it's
That's
really
life, bro. Just a series of figuring it out.
right. Like, it's a never ending Rubik's Cube, like, just
Hmm.
never ending. And I know that's not very comforting sometimes to hear, yet I think there has to be a comfortability in that uncomfortableness, and also comfortable in, like, really really leave space to be surprised by, like, leave space to be surprised by life
Yeah.
and the tribe of people that gravitate to you. I've really had a fortunate chance to make a family of misfits, the weirdos and strangers, right? Like, car broke down. This dude just so happened to pull over and just so happened to help me push my car off the side of the road. He said,
Yeah.
"Hey man, give me your number. I want you to call me when you get home." You text him, and the next thing, you're having some brews with him on a Thursday night, and the next thing, you're kicking it at his crib, and then next thing, I couldn't have imagined. I couldn't have
Yeah.
imagined what my life would look like if I had never met you, bro. Like, you're like one of my people now,
Yeah.
like you, Nico, Lloyd, and Ro, bro, Ian, Ralph, John Dizon, like all those dudes from that first year. Kyle Espiritu, second year of All Mail. I don't know what my life would look. Kyle was there that night. Like, I don't know what my life would look like if my dumbass hadn't just so happened to stumble in a very lost way into that park that day, and left
Yeah.
that space to be surprised by these very strange young men who are doing these very strange tricks out here on this hot summer day. Like, what do you guys do? I still remember asking, I think it was Moses. I was like, wait, are you guys like cheerleaders or something? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
very wondering, like, curious about what's going on here.
Yeah.
So you end up back in Cali, and we've arrived,
Yeah.
and so what does Erik, Mr. Ortiz, got going on these days, man? Like, I know we talked a little bit about the profile that
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
Justin had put together. You're a dad. What's that been like? What's that transition been like for you?
It's been a journey. I wish I could say that it's been easy. It's easy in the sense that he's a great kid. Both of them. I have two kids. Um, it's easy in the sense that they're great kids. They're curious. They don't excessively yell and do stuff like that. But it's hard because they're curious.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I think one of the hardest parts so far, as far as with the kids, have been just work. So I haven't really talked about work other than the whole E&J, but that's not work. That's just something that I'm trying to pursue, the whole creating, making a book and stuff. But when I was in North Carolina, I knew I couldn't just come back without a plan. Like I had a semi plan in North Carolina. Okay, I'm selling TVs at Best Buy. I'm going to school for was I doing I was business at that point, because that's a whole other story. I've been jumping around majors so much since I graduated high school. At first I was doing criminology because I wanted to be a cop. Did not have a good experience with cops, so I didn't want to do a cop anymore. Um, then I said, you know what? I'm doing martial arts. I should do kinesiology. Started doing a lot of kinesiology because, like, it's going to help me teaching martial arts. A lot of the stuff I kind of already knew. So I'm like, this is kind of like not holding my attention. Moved over to accounting. Is like, oh, this, because I was like, you know what? Accounting will be smart to have if I'm a business owner. Like, accounting is kind of a lot of math. I went over to a business major, and I was doing business major. And then after that, that's when I moved over to North Carolina. I switched over to computer science, and that's kind of where I staged computer science. My plan was, all right, going to get my bachelor's in computer science, keep doing what I'm doing, see where life takes me. At this point, I'm moving back, and I'm just like, all right, what do I do? The community college I was over here, I won't be able to do anymore. Let's see if I can do a university. So I go over. I don't know how I graduated high school, bro. Like my grades are still fucking bad. Like I remember, I think I was like, I barely like 2.0, barely was able to walk the line, right? So I'm in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not getting into any good colleges. I was like, but I was like, who checks nowadays, man? So I just signed up for DeVry. So DeVry Online University, do computer science. Then I was like, well, I need money, especially if I'm going to take care of Justine, because Justine's going to nursing school. So like, all right, I want her to focus on her nursing school while I'm doing all this. So like, all right, let me teach martial arts again. I hit up Master Gregory. Master Gregory, I know I just left, and I know I just left, but would you be kind enough to offer me a job, please? I was like, yeah, of course. We'll always take you. So then teaching martial arts part time. I'm like, well, I need more money. I need to save money so I can, like, take care of Justine. Like, all right, so only experience I have in a job outside martial arts is Best Buy. Let me go back to Best Buy. So I move over to Best Buy. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is my resume, martial arts, Best Buy. But I really want to be in your geek squad. I want to like get my hands on technology. I was like, well, your sales experience is really good. Like I'm very impressed. Like you sold like over $100,000 over there, and you weren't even there a whole year. I was like, oh yeah. I had some good mentors, and it's like, we have an opening in TV. Do you want to? We'll give you like a high position in if you sell TVs. And I'm just like, I'll take the pay cut. I really want to be in Geek Squad. I was like, well, if most of our people that are there, once they're there, they kind of don't leave. And I knew what he was saying, because I looked over, like everyone was old. Like that's their career now. They're there for life. So I was like, I'll settle for anything as long as I'm in Geek Squad. Like, okay, I can start you off as a part-time, what do they call them? Front end precinct. So pretty much I was just selling the services. So I wasn't fixing the computers. I just got to sell the service to fix the computers. But I'm trying to make the best of my time there. So every time that I'm not selling, I'd go in the back and like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, what are you fixing? Oh, what's that? Just learn. Someone took me under their wing. A position opened up for a part-time ARA, advanced repair agent, and they pulled me in the back. So they, okay, cool. Part-time ARA, fixing computers, going to school, doing martial arts, just hustle. And then a full-time, I need more money, and part-time's not cutting it. Goes to full-time, a position opened up as a manager for Geek Squad. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do this. So I take the full-time position manager for the Geek Squad, stay there for about a year. And from there, I was just like, I gotta make a jump. Justine, at this point, she finished nursing school. She started her first job, but she was commuting like an hour and change there and back. So like 2 hours a day. And I'm just like, I can't do this to you, my love. And I still remember this was like the hardest conversation I had to have with Justine, because we were living with my parents at that time. And like, baby, do you trust me? And he's like, why? I think we should move. And he's like, what? I was like, how are we gonna do it? Like, just trust me. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I'll find a job over there. I don't know how, but we're gonna do it. And he's like, I can't have you driving 2 hours like every single day. So we moved over to Simi Valley. It's fond memories now. I don't know how the fuck we did it. But our first little apartment, man, just me and her, and Mango, little dog over here. I don't know if you heard him bark. We're like, oh shit, man. It was liberating too, because for the first time, like no sister, no parents, no nothing. It was just us. And that was
Mm.
like our little honeymoon stage. Like, and again, at this point, we're not married, but we've been together for like 10 plus years or near 10 plus years at the time. So like we're pretty much married. Um, and then I was still doing school on this. I was working at Best Buy in Northridge, and then COVID happens, bro.
Ugh.
Oh, so I'm like, ah, shit. Like, they're closing down. Best Buy's only doing front. They're only having like certain people go there. So then I end up going, oh shit, I twisted my stores. I was manager at the Northridge one, not the Oxnard one. I was manager at the Northridge one. Like, oh, I'm staying there because I'm manager, but I feel bad for my other people, man. But I was like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. But it was getting so hard with school and work and everything. And I'm just like, ah. Oh, and during COVID, I don't know if you experienced this. I don't know if any of your listeners experienced this. They were supposed to like pause rent, but rent was going up.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
So we had our little apartment at first, and it was like $1,400 a month. So like, oh, that's dude, like, I mean, back then to me, 1,400, like, oh shit, how the fuck we're gonna get 1,400? But I was like, okay, it's doable now. Justine has her nursing. I have a manager here at Geek Squad. Like, I'm doing schooling. They were gonna jack it up to like 1,800, so like an extra 400. And I was like, that's our food money. Like,
Yeah.
we could do it, but like we're gonna be like scraping by. So I look at Justine like, baby, do you trust me? And she's like, well, last time it worked out just fine. Like, all right, well, we have some money saved up. And my dad called me, said he had some money saved up to me since I was a little kid, like to like help me out with my first home. It's like, it's not much, it's $10,000, but for my dad, like we had when we were growing, it was a trailer, 1 bedroom, 8 people. Like we were from struggle, man. So for hearing that there was money, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, how'd you even save
Mm-hmm.
this? Like, it's like we made it happen. It's like, look, why don't we get a small condo, get it closer to where you work, get it closer to where I work, and that's how we got this place. So our pretty much our rent, well, now mortgage stayed pretty much the same, around 1,500, and like let's just, it's not the nicest place, bro. It's not, but we fixed it up so it looks nicer. But like when we first got in here, it was like bad, and like I can tell the visible disdain in Justine's face because we went from like a luxury apartment in Simi Valley for like 14 to what I'm used to, you know, kind of like a little ghetto and stuff. I remember the first time we came in, like, all right, Justine, you stay in the apartment. You stay over there with the nice stuff. I'm gonna stay here. Tore up the floors, painted the walls. I was trying to make it look nice for her so that when she comes here, it's like it's homey. First night, me and my brother-in-law are in the balcony right here. Someone comes over, like, oh, how much you bought the place for? And all this stuff, like, whatever, just being friendly, talking to them. He goes, oh, well, you, like, he started getting like agitated with me, and I was like, everything okay, man? And then this other neighbor comes out, and they start like fighting. So I jump over the hog, like, hey, calm the fuck down. And one of the food's like, you better fucking own a gun, man. And I'm just like, you guys go over there, man. But yeah, no, everything worked out. Everything was good, and things were pretty chill. And then I was in my last semester of DeVry, and I'm like, fuck, man, this is getting so fucking hard. And I had to swallow my pride because I always think of myself like a protector provider. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, and at this point, Justine's already like 3 years into her career as a nurse. So she's making bank. So she's a breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
My money that was coming from Best Buy was covering like our fun stuff. Like we want to go, we want to travel, we want to do this. That was my money. So I was like, baby, would you be okay if I just, and I was so miserable at Geek Squad. Like it got to the point where I was doing everything and I'm like, they were expecting so much from me from like little pay. Like I would always negotiate my payout and they would always do it. But I guess like I got like the max that they were doing. It's like, sorry, we can't offer you more. So I'm like, Justine, would you be okay if I quit? If I just focus on my studies for like a year or so, and that way I can finish. And she looks at me, baby, of course. You supported me the entire time I was in nursing school. Like of course, and we can do a whole year. So we did a year. It ended up only being 6 months. Um, and then God's funny, man. I was working part time as a computer, pretty much what I was doing at Geek Squad, but by myself. And I see this post online. I was like, oh, job offer, contract, yada yada yada. And then I get an email saying, "Oh, we found your profile on LinkedIn. I think you'd be a great candidate." In my head, I'm like, "What's scammers, man? What fucking scams, man? Like all this stuff." So I messaged back, "Yeah, I'm interested." Get the phone. Not to be this guy, but it's some guy overseas. Sounds like Indian, and they're like, "Oh, we have this job listing for Motorola. I think you'd be a great fit." I'm like, sure you do. We can set up a interview tomorrow. I was like, sure you do. Yeah, go for it. Set up anytime I mess with scammers, I always like seeing how far I can take it before they get annoyed. So I was in that mindset. I was like, okay, cool. The next day comes over. These two old white dudes show up in my screen. And I'm like, oh, this is real. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, this is real. I did not prepare. Didn't do squat. They asked me all these networking questions like, oh, what's an IP address? How do you do this? How do you subnet it? What's this, all this? What's the DNS server? How would you troubleshoot this? And I'm just like going through the motions, but I'm not quite there. So I'm bombing this interview. And I'm like, fuck. And at the very end, they're like, okay, well, one of the gentlemen, his name is Micah, great fucking dude, so smart. He goes like, anything else you want to say to us? And in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be reluctant if I don't bring this up. I know I didn't get any technical answers right. I know I bombed this. Like, you don't have to lie to me. I know I did horrible. But here's what I'm gonna tell you: you're not gonna meet another guy that's gonna work as hard as I do. Like, all these things that you're talking about, these are technical skills. Technical skills can be learned. I have something that people cannot learn. I have heart, I have passion, and I have the mindset of a beast. I'm just gonna grind through it. If that's someone that can add value to your team, I'm your guy. Micah on the left of the screen was just like, okay. But I saw his name is Mark Searle. I saw Mark on the side, and he's just like, I was like, okay, I got one. I can do this. Sure enough, I get the call that I got the job as a contractor. So I'm like, fuck
yes.
Yeah. I was like, this is like my first like big boy job. I had a big company. I was like, this is great. The year later, I get hired on full time, and now I'm going on 3 years. I just did my 3 years last month, actually. So,
dude, congratulations.
That is where I'm at now. This timeline back to present. I went from almost getting expelled as a middle schooler, constantly getting fights, changed my life with martial arts, brotherhood with dance, lost myself, found myself, came back, hustle, and now I'm living a life that I only dreamt of. I didn't even dream. Actually, I can't even say that I dreamt about it because I thought I'd be dead.
Yeah, man. Wow. See, you're not just a normal dude, bro. You are Mr. Ortiz.
That's a normal dude.
I think there's actually a lot to be learned there. And my biggest thing, even kind of going back a little bit, is you really have to go through the fire to really know who and what you're made of. And in that process, there's like a purification that happens, because there's certain parts of our ego that it dies off a little bit. It gets broken away. But it's like the superfluous parts, right? Like that part of the stone that just surrounds the diamond. Like, it was always a diamond, and its quality was always there. These other parts had to be chipped away to truly see what was under there, right? You're still a protector, you're still a provider, you're still all of those things. I think that there was certain ways, maybe even like for a lot of us, we want them to show up a certain way, and we want it to look a certain way.
Yeah.
you bang on it, and then it shows up just a little bit different and a little more pure, right? A little
Yeah.
more righteous in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. Listen, dude, there's a game I like to play
Yeah.
before I ever wrap up a podcast. And this is like a quick, rapid fire. We try to keep it one word answers. There'll be some where obviously you can answer with a couple more.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a new little tradition I'm building on the podcast. Would you want to play?
Heck yeah. Sounds fun.
All right, so let's check it out. Which one do you enjoy more? Long late night strolls or early morning walks?
Late night strolls.
Do you like summer or winter?
Winter.
Your favorite sound?
My favorite sound?
Mm-hmm.
Kai laughing.
Yes. Favorite way to unwind?
Anime.
Rivers or oceans?
Ocean.
Mountains or beaches?
Mountains hard. Mountains.
Anywhere in the world, where are you picking as a go-to travel place?
Japan.
Your biggest fear?
Not being enough.
Deepest regret?
Ooh. I'll say it. Cheating.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Persistent. Prideful. It's going to sound like a negative, but I don't think of a negative. Arrogant.
Yes, we all need a little bit of that arrogance in us, man, to keep us going, to let us know that we are that guy.
Yeah.
Erik, finally, what would you say? What words of wisdom do you got for everybody who has, will, and is listening out there in the great podcast sphere of the world? Words of wisdom from Erik Ortiz. What do we got?
The words of wisdom that I tell myself like a mantra every single day is, you got this. You're going to figure it out. You're not lost. It's part of the process. Doesn't matter how many times you change your mind. Doesn't matter how many times you change your career, majors, or anything. There's no timeline in your success. There's no timeline to your happiness. Don't wait for tomorrow to be happy. Just be happy now, man. Enjoy what you have now. Too many times we put off to the side, like, I'll be happy when X. I'll be happy when Y. I'll be successful when I do this and that. It's one of the things that a lot of my kids have always asked me is, Mr. Ortiz, when do I know that I'm ready to become a black belt? And I always tell them, you don't. You just one day realize that you are.
Whoa, Erik motherfucker Ortiz, man. Brother, thank you so much for being on the show. I hope we can do this again. Me. Yeah, this was like a good warm-up, man. Like a good now we kind of know who Erik Ortiz is, and now next one we can kind of dig into the brain a little bit more, get a little deeper. But thank you, brother. I love you endlessly, man. Like, yes, I cannot stress enough the amount of impact that CI All Male had on me, that you've had on me. One of my scariest moments in life, you were right there by my side, and that's not something I say very lightly, because there was a lot of scary moments. That was definitely one of them, man. And you were there, and dude, didn't buckle, bro, because there's been some people that I have in my life who've buckled on me, man. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate you from the depths of my heart, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, dude. I was telling Justine, if actually just walked in right now, I was like, dude, I'm looking forward to like talking to you. Like, I haven't talked to you like for ages. I know we text here and there and Facebook Messenger and everything, but I was like, I haven't like sat down and talked to you, man. Yeah, I know it was mostly me talking, but like, next time off podcast, I want to hear about you, man.
Yeah, bro. We'll talk more. We'll definitely do this again soon. But yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, brother. I'll send you a message here right now.
Yes, sir.
All right. You guys, that was the wonderful, amazing, the powerful, the majestic Erik Ortiz. There was a lot that was said. One One, find your rock, right? Shout out all my crackheads out there, but find your rock, dude. Find your person, your thing, your whatever that is going to bring you back center, that'll bring you back in line. He is more than fortunate enough, and I know Justine. It's been a while since I've talked to her, but that is somebody who is true through and through. Wonderful young lady, and those two have been like they've been like one of those staple relationships when I look back at like high school and those young wild years right after you graduate. Like those were just it was Eric and Justine, and hearing him describe her as his rock is just it's just so heartfelt to me. And to his words of wisdom that he spoke, those who wonder aren't lost. Those who wander aren't always lost. You're just finding your way. Nobody gave us a blueprint. No one gave us a how-to manual. No one gave us directions and MapQuest and Apple Maps and Waze. No one handed us that. Our parents were just grown-up big kids teaching us how to be grown-ups. And you figure it out along the way. And you find a tribe of people who rush to your side when you need it the most. Allow yourself that space to be surprised. Be surprised by what you stumble across as you're stumbling across life. Man, I can't stress that enough. That was really good words from him. You don't know when you're a black belt. You just know when you are. corpsecollection.com. Go check it out. Check out this podcast. It'll be released here by the end of this week. Find Erik Ortiz on my Instagram and Facebook. He's an amazing person. He does a lot of cool stuff. Great dude through and through, and maybe I have a chance to talk with him a little bit more. But until next time, I'll hope you guys have a good day. Hope you have a good week, month, year, and life. Until next time, stay motivated.